Dear students, let us continue our study in the paper Environmental Chemistry. And in this module, we shall focus on pollution by chemicals, petroleum, minerals and chlorofluorohydrocarbons. We shall be focusing on how the pollution by chemical industry is creating a havoc. We shall study the evolution of harmful gases, the wastewater production, how there is pollution by petroleum which is caused, like we will be discussing the pollution by extraction method in petroleum industry, the evolution of toxic gases and compounds in this process, to name a few. Then in the mineral industry also, how it is responsible for the air pollution, land pollution, mining and water pollution. Then we shall focus on chlorofluorohydrocarbons and how that is responsible for the ozone layer depletion, which has become a very serious concern, and we will see the various consequences of ozone depletion. So dear students, if we try to understand and know what are the learning outcomes of this module, after studying this module, you shall be able to know about the environmental impacts of industrial and agriculture waste. You shall be able to learn about the process of evolution of pollution, and you shall be able to identify the pollutants of chemical, petroleum, mineral industries and chlorofluorohydrocarbons. And after studying all this, you shall be able to evaluate the effect of these pollutants on environment and human health. And becoming familiar with this, I am hopeful that you shall be acting as more responsible citizen and try to help in reducing the environmental pollution. So let us begin with knowing what is pollution. An undesirable change in the physical, chemical and biological nature of the environment with respect to air, water and land is known as pollution. It is the introduction of particles which contaminate the environment and causes adverse effect to environments as well as human health. There may be foreign as well as naturally occurring pollutants that causes pollution. And some of this you are already aware, but we shall be focusing more in detail in this module about the various industries which are basically responsible for pollution in environment. So in this context, we can say the pollutant is basically the waste material coming out of the industries that pollutes air, water or soil. The chemical nature, concentration and persistence of these pollutants will determine the quality of pollution which is caused by them. So let us now go into the detailed study of pollution which is caused by the chemical industry. Dear students, chemical industry is one of the most powerful sources of environmental pollution. All chemical industries, they use raw materials for several processes and therefore it results in reduction of the natural resources. The chemical industry affect the environment by emission of toxic gases and wastewater. It causes pollution to air also around the earth and natural ponds as well as the underground water. The main reason for the pollution is extension of chemical industry that causes acid rains, greenhouse effects, the global climate changes, ozone layer depletion, exhaustion of fresh water and damaging the fertile lands. And it has been revealed that the growth in chemical industry causes a very serious threat to people's health and the environment. Also, it increases the financial burdens Indian chemical industry is one of the largest and most advanced amongst other countries in the world. But we have to understand the reasons and try to find solution that how the pollution which is being caused by these industries can be minimized. Let us look at what are the various harmful gases which are evolved from these chemical industries. There are many gases that release out from these chemical industries, and if we look at the reason why, combustion of many organic or inorganic substances, they release carbon dioxide which results in global warming. The number and variety of chemical products used in everyday life is growing rapidly, and for their manufacture new chemicals are sometimes used which have unknown health effects, and due to this there will be serious air pollution which can be caused. Not only carbon dioxide, but there are so many other poisonous gases because of these new chemicals which are being treated in these industries. Coming to the wastewater production, any chemical, physical or biological change in the quality of water has a harmful effect on every living being who drinks and uses it. When this polluted water is consumed by humans, they encountered serious health problems. The pollutants can be organic or inorganic in nature, and they cause harmful effects to humans as well as plants and animal lives. There are number of industries that discharge wastewater in the nearby water resources like ponds or lakes, or in some nearby low lying area that join various surface water bodies. Big cities are over polluted due to the high population, as it increases the domestic as well as industrial activities, and this is becoming a very serious concern. Water reservoirs are also affected by man-made chemicals and become unstable for drinking. Among them, non-biodegradable chemicals are even more toxic than the biodegradable chemicals. If you look at the basic sources of water pollution, they are industrial discharge of dyes and intermediates, industrial discharge of pharmaceuticals, industrial discharge of chemical waste and byproducts, discharge of poorly treated or untreated sewage, discharge of contaminated and or heated water used for industrial processes. And another source of water pollution is acid rain, which is caused by industrial discharge of sulfur dioxide, which in turn is produced by burning high sulfur fossil fuels. And some of these things you are already aware, but let us look at in more details that what are all these and how the control and all can be done. Many of these industrial pollutions you are already aware, but all this you are being made to study so that you are more knowledgeable, and further when you go into industries or otherwise consume, then you should try to minimize their use and also minimize the pollution in any process that you are carrying out, whether as a chemist or otherwise as a citizen. After the awareness about the pollution caused by industries, that is the chemical industries, let us focus on how the pollution is caused by the petroleum industry. Petroleum, as you are already aware, refers to the fluid fossil hydrocarbon which are available as fuel either in the form of oil or natural gas. Petroleum is originated from the deposition of organic matter in aquatic environment. It is a mixture of aliphatic and aromatic hydrocarbons. The most important fraction of petroleum is gasoline. Therefore, the non-gasoline fraction is also converted into gasoline by various processes. The processes which are involved in the extraction of petroleum have numerous environmental impacts. And before we study them, let us quickly revise how the petroleum formation takes place. The processes involved in the extraction of petroleum have numerous environmental impacts. Let us study them in more detail, and first of all focus on pollution by extraction method which is used in petroleum industry. When the petroleum is extracted from lands or below water, oil is spilled on the land, and when this oil is absorbed by the agricultural grounds, it causes land pollution. And in the case of extraction from marine oil spilled in water, is carried away by ocean current and results in water pollution, which has serious impact on aquatic life. Some of the processes taking place after extraction method have several environmental issues, and these processes let us discuss one by one. They are refining, combustion, transportation. So, let us discuss about them one by one. First, looking at refining. Harmful gases from petroleum refineries, they include carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, particulates and hydrocarbons. Petroleum refineries also produce toxic inorganic compounds like acids and alkalis, as well as some organic compounds like alcohols and creosotes. Looking at the combustion process in petroleum distillates is not complete, and as a result of this, water and carbon dioxide is released in incomplete burn condition. Also, the fine particulates of soot blacken the human and animal lungs and causes heart problems in human beings. Coming to the pollution due to transportation in the petroleum industry, construction of pipelines for the transportation of petroleum threatens the environment of nearby regions. Transportation through seafaring vessels is very dangerous, as these vessels often meet an accident, and due to this oil spills out in the open sea, which is very dangerous for the aquatic life. Now coming to the next topic, which is evolution of toxic gases which also result in pollution. The petroleum distillate, as you are aware, is a mixture of different kinds of organic compounds which are highly toxic and can even cause birth defects in human beings. Benzene is present in gasoline and causes danger as it lowers the number of white blood cells in human beings. An oil spill is basically the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, and this may occur due to the release of crude oil from pipelines and oil tankers. So, I repeat, what is meant by oil spill? Oil spill is the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment. Volatile organic compounds are gases which are released by various solid and liquids that cause adverse effects on the human health and environment. These compounds from petroleum are toxic in nature and are responsible for air pollution. And there are many issues which are concerned with the evolution of toxic gases and compounds. Let us discuss them one by one. The first of them is the acid rain. The combustion of petroleum produces nitrogen gas, which is then converted into nitrogen oxide when it comes in contact with air. Nitrous oxides along with sulfur dioxide then combine with water in the atmosphere, and it results in the formation of acid which comes along with rain, and this is called as acid rain. Acid rain causes many problems such as damaging of trees, acidification of lakes, and death of aquatic life like fishes. It also leads to increased corrosion of machinery and structures and in the destruction of archaeological structures which are constituted of marble. And one example that you are all very aware and familiar is Taj Mahal, because of the petroleum refinery in Mathura near Agra, and due to the acid rain the Taj Mahal marble has been damaged over the years. Coming to the climate changes, the burning of petroleum results in the production of carbon dioxide gas, and there are also organic compounds such as methane released from petroleum, and you are already aware that methane traps more heat than carbon dioxide, and hence it causes change in climate which results in global warming. So, we can say the methane and carbon dioxide, as you are already aware, they are the well known greenhouse gas, and due to these petroleum industry giving out methane and carbon dioxide, they also contribute in the greenhouse gases and in the global warming. Now, after the pollution by petroleum industry, let us now focus on how the pollution is caused by the mineral industry. The mineral industry is the cause of environmental problems such as air, water and land pollution due to the generation of a large number of hazardous wastes. The process of extraction of metal is increasing day by day, which results in the production of waste material and pollutants. Due to the increase in production, the lands which are nearer to the industries are getting seriously affected and are not fit for farming. The particles emitted also cause danger to vegetation and animal life in the nearby area. The problems which are caused by mineral industries are characterized on the basis of the nature of their effects, and it includes some of the serious issues like air pollution, land pollution, and we will discuss them one by one. So, let us focus on the land pollution. In mineral industry, for raw material, basically the extraction of valuable is taken from the earth. But the process can be the cause of many environmental problems, which includes soil erosion, formation of sinkholes, loss of biodiversity and pollution in soil, groundwater and surface water. Disposal of mine tailings is one of the most important environmental issues. The tailings are made up of gangue materials. Recycling of various metallurgical slags produced in the metal extraction, refining and alloying process is in environmental issue. If they are not handled properly, it results to a huge source of waste. And as the growth of industrialization is happening very fast, lands for landfilling of these slags are reducing day by day, and this has become very alarming situation. It also affects the human health as the vegetation on the polluting lands and the affected water is consumed by humans. Coming to the mining and water pollution. In the mining process, the ore obtained is crushed by various physical methods and then chemically or by several separating processes, the metal is extracted from waste materials. The quality of water is also affected by mineral processing as mining can deplete surface as well as groundwater supplies. If we consider some examples here, for example in Nevada, the Humboldt River is being drained to benefit the gold mine operations. Also in groundwater withdrawn from the Santa Cruz River basin in southern Arizona for use at a nearby copper mine is causing decrease in water level and drying up the river. Acid mine drainage is the phenomena of release of sulfuric acid due to the mining of sulfide ores. When the water reaches a certain level of acidity, then it results in water pollution. This acid deposited into river, lakes and groundwater is a very serious concern for pollution. And you can see in this visual how the acid drainage and deposited in river is being exhibited. Coming to the heavy metal contamination and leaching. Heavy metal pollution is caused by contact of water with heavy metals such as arsenic, cobalt, copper, cadmium, lead, silver and zinc in the underground mining. Next is the chemical pollution. This is caused by leakage in chemical industries and refineries, and they are very toxic in nature, and the leak or leach out from the mine to the nearby water bodies causes serious pollutions. Erosion and sedimentation. If we focus on this part of the mining processes in mineral industries cause disturbance to soil and rocks in order to construct roads. If proper prevention and control strategies are not taken, then erosion of the exposed earth may result in the release of substantial amounts of sediment into streams, rivers and lakes. And after the mining aspect, how that causes pollution, let us now move to the contribution of chlorofluorohydrocarbons in pollution. Chlorofluorohydrocarbons are very commonly used as coolants for refrigerators and in making polystyrene containers for food packaging, which are further used for firefighting, fire extinguishers, and they are also used as solvents for removal of grease from electronic equipment amongst various other uses. And how they are responsible for ozone layer depletion, let us try to understand that. The ozone layer in the stratosphere is a natural feature of Earth's atmosphere, and you have been made aware about the entire composition of atmosphere in the initial modules. This layer shields the Earth environment from harmful ultraviolet radiation of the sun. The depletion of the ozone layer is considered as a very serious problem for all forms of life. The absence of ozone causes the damaging solar radiations to enter the earth and causing several hazards to environment as well as human health. The ozone depletion is mainly caused by chlorine containing compounds, as the chlorine catalyzed chain reaction mechanisms help in ozone depletion and is the major contributor for that. So, these atoms are released by the proteolysis of chlorofluorohydrocarbons. If you look at the consequences of ozone depletion, they are very serious. Reduced amount of ozone permit large amount of ultraviolet radiation to penetrate the atmosphere. Exposure of these radiations to environment results in deleterious effects. Moreover, even the ozone hole is being formed over the Antarctica region. Now, focusing on the human health, how it is being affected. Ultraviolet radiations are very energetic to break apart important biological molecules including proteins and DNA, which we are constituted of. It also damages the connective tissues of the skin, and as a result the skin becomes wrinkled and loses its elasticity. It also affects the immune system of skin cell and causes skin cancer if exposed to more amounts. The eyes are also affected by harmful UV radiations. The ocular pigment cells, which normally sharpen our sight by reflecting the light inside the eyes, malfunction when exposed to UV radiation, and it also damages the lens of our eyes. Melanoma of eyes, blindness and even death can result in this process. If you look at the impact on crop yields, more than 2/3 of crop species are damaged by UV rays. An increased level of UV rays adversely affect the yield of crop, especially those of soybeans, peas and beans. The increase in UV radiation is estimated to cause almost a 1% decline in the yield of these crops. Dear students, let us now summarize what we have learned in this module. We have studied that pollution is basically the introduction of particles which contaminate the environment and cause adverse changes. And the industries are very much responsible for pollution in environment. Harmful gases from petroleum refineries include carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxide, particulates and hydrocarbons. We also studied volatile organic compounds are the gases which are emitted by various substances, and they can also adversely affect human health and environment. We also studied how the process of extraction of metal is increasing day by day, and in the mining industry it also results in the production of waste material and pollutants. Recycling of various metallurgical slags produced in the metal extraction, refining and alloying process is also causing severe environmental issues. We also studied the ozone depletion is mainly caused by chlorine containing compounds, as the chlorine catalyzed chain mechanism of ozone depletion is contributing most in this, and these atoms are mostly released by the proteolysis of chlorofluorohydrocarbon type of organic compounds, and due to this ozone depletion there are serious effects on the crops and human beings. Thank you.